Here I am at the community orchard at Houghton, just a few days before the start of my sabbatical. Things feel a bit weird as things start to slow down. Some of the preparation and emails and the organising has mostly been done. There's those things which probably I won't get round to, those things that I've forgotten. I'm sort of just having to leave those now and trust that the good people that are within around this benefice will pick up and forgive the things that I've omitted to do. And it does feel a bit strange as today's Friday the 29th of May. Remember that? It's our 21st wedding anniversary yesterday on the 28th of May. And it does mean that we're just a few days away from the start of those 3 months of sabbatical. I went to my spiritual directorate a few days ago to chat, to kind of join the dots of some of the things that I'm thinking about or feeling at the beginning of this time. Lots of kind of strange emotions in a sense. Look back on my years of ordination up to this point. There's just been a lot, I guess, in terms of new experiences, of moving to different places, of transitions within family and family life. I have a number of difficulties within family life that perhaps, well, I definitely couldn't have ever predicted, and they've taken their toll in some ways, probably matured me in others, in terms of life, but in terms of faith as well. In ministry, there's always new joys and challenges along the way. I look back to my almost 6 years here, being interviewed, and then a week or so later going into the COVID lockdown and arriving here in the valley with the churches all locked down and the place, an environment feeling quite different from that of which I thought I might be coming to. The role of first incumbency is lots of firsts as well, of learning how to do things, of perhaps in some way being the point person for 6 churches and now a chaplaincy in the Abbey as well. The last months has been just probably the most pastoral need that there has been, or at least that I've been aware of in my time here, and perhaps sometimes subconsciously some of that takes a toll that you're not aware of. And I think as I arrive at this point, I've just realised I am a bit weary. I'm in need of a bit of restoration in my mind, body and spirit. And so as I was chatting with my spiritual director Dave the other day, as he's got the capacity to do, asked good questions and said to me, so if we meet just before you come back, what would a good sabbatical look like? What will it have felt like. And I think there was a long pause from me at that point, and I wasn't quite sure how to answer. But eventually I hazarded kind of a bit of a stab at an answer to that. And I said, well, perhaps this time, Jed, you're in the way. Give me. Good boy. This way isn't just kind of a break from things, but it's about establishing new and healthy rhythms and routines that are manageable long term and support me in the next phase of my ministry in the different places and situations that may lead to in the coming years. But there's something about building sustainable routines and making wise decisions about how I look after myself. So I think that was perhaps a slightly convoluted and long-winded answer to the question that he asked me, and perhaps that'll maybe have some refinement over the coming days. And again, he asked me questions about what these days ahead will look like, and something I get asked quite a lot, rightly, by people here. And there's different places I'll visit, and there are things that I'll do. And I was a little bit worried, and I'm a bit worried about what a rhythm of life looks like when you kind of strip out all the normal things. And I came up with, probably out of the blue, just as I was writing in my journal, 4 things. I thought, well, if I do these, then maybe they're just the components of a day, and whatever else happens, wherever else I go, whoever else I meet, kind of additions, and good, important additions. But if every day I say my prayers, I write something in my journal, I read something from one of the books I've got planned, and I do some exercise. If I do those things, those 4 things, every day, and if that's all I did, would it have been a good sabbatical? And I think the honest answer is, yeah, I think it would be. I know that won't be all that happens. There will be other things and important learning on the way. But if I hold those 4 things, then maybe they're just the building blocks for the beginning of this time. Well, I suspect next time I speak or write or post photographs, things will have begun. I'll be perhaps in a different location. But thank you for joining me with my ramblings. I suspect they're never going to be particularly eloquent. They'll be stream of consciousness to some degree, but I hope they'll be honest, maybe at times interesting, probably too long, but thank you for joining me.